Hello. Good morning. This will be another quick one. I guess you could say it's part 2 of the lessons that God gives me while I'm in my garden. And I'll start with this. Every year, there are always certain things I like to plant. This year is my first time growing so many flowers. But one thing that is a constant, one of the things that's a constant in my garden, are tomatoes. I absolutely love tomatoes. And I always plant several different varieties of tomatoes because each variety has a unique flavor and they're just good for different things. Like one tomato is better for sauces than another. One tomato is really good alone, sandwiches or what have you. No matter the species of tomato that I plant, there's something that I always make sure I do along with it. And that is, I always plant it with companions. What are they? The companions I use to plant with my tomatoes are basil and marigolds. Basil is an herb. It has a very strong scent. It is so yummy. I love it. I don't just put it in my food, but I also sometimes put it in my lemonade when I don't have mint, or I'll add them both because they're cousins. And I also add marigolds, and even though marigolds has its own thing, it's a flower, so it's made to look pretty and bring in all the pollinators and things like that. And even though they each have their own unique design and their own unique I guess you could say purpose of being, when I plant them all together, the tomato, the basil, and the marigold, their level of purpose goes up quite a bit. And the reason is because the pests that love tomatoes do not like marigolds, and they do not like basil. So they're a particular type of worm that just would love to eat your tomatoes, but they do not like marigolds. And the white flies, and there's also different types of disease that tomatoes are prone to having. The basil and the marigolds, they just kind of cancel them out. And I've never had any issues with my tomato plants when I plant them beside them. Now, I don't plant them just in the same bed, in the same area. I plant them side by side so that they can grow together. And in that way, they're all strong, because not only does the basil and the marigold help with the pests with the tomato plant, but as the tomato plant grows, it gives a little bit of shade for my marigolds so they're not scorched by the sun. And I think it's a beautiful thing that they are able to coexist and help one another. That's called companion planting. And in the body of Christ, we are the same way. We each have our own design and talent and gift that God has put in us. But when we are with one another and we're planted beside one another in a local church, in the body of Christ, each of our gifts, they don't take away from the other, but they help to build not only that person and help us grow together, but it helps fortify the body in the local church. And the mission that God has for that church and that body is able to move forward stronger and unified because we're planted together. And isn't that a beautiful thing? Well, that's all I have for you today. It's quick and easy. I thank you for coming. And if no one has told you today, I love you. I love you so much. And I pray that you succeed in everything that God has for you, and that you, if you haven't already, that you discover your purpose, the purpose that God has for you, and that you walk in it boldly to do His will. Well, I'll see you next time. Have a good one.